I would consider myself a selective perfectionist. Now, I've never been diagnosed as one by a licensed therapist, so keep that in mind, but I think I check the boxes. The reason why I add selective to the front is because I'm only a perfectionist when it comes to things I actually care about. For example, in school, when I get assigned an essay about cat theory, I could care less and I'd end up writing it the period before, mashing my keyboard like a wild chimp, really letting my dyslexia shine. I didn't care if it was perfect, but when it comes to things I actually care about, like filmmaking, I'm pretty much the absolute worst. I can spend 2 days scrutinizing over the positioning of text on an editing timeline and the time a song should fade out. But that's when I get started. The worst part is getting started. I have so many unfinished scripts to videos on my computer, just a big folder of them sitting on my desktop. It takes me months of the same endless cycle of writing an entire script and then trashing it, until by the miracle of God, I finally find one I'm somewhat happy with. Now, admittedly, now that I'm doing video editing as a job now, I've been able to adapt and speed up my process. But when it comes to my YouTube channel, this is still pretty much the case, and for the longest time, I always viewed my perfectionism when it came to video as a weird form of self-validation. The months I would spend typing and then deleting was a sense of pride for me. It made me feel like since I spent more time in all my videos, they were better than everyone else's. But once I started to do my paid videos faster without losing the quality, I began to realize that the reason I kept trashing all my scripts and spending a week editing something was actually something deeper. I used perfectionism as a form to hide my insecurity. I've rambled about my internal struggle with insecurity before on my channel. I even made an entire video dedicated to it. And after I made that video, I felt like I'd grown from it and moved on. But the reality is, I just disguised my perfectionism as a new form of insecurity. Instead of being jealous of other people's success, I just projected that into my own work. And when I took a second to go back and look at the big picture and go read my old video scripts, I realized why I trashed them. It was because I was afraid I wasn't good enough, or because what I said in the video didn't make sense, and I was afraid of what people were going to think of my personal ideas. I'm able to not overthink client work because my name at the end of the day isn't attached to the video. My face isn't in the video. Even if I didn't fully agree with the vision or dislike the transitions I was used to ask, I never had to claim it if people didn't like it. But when it's my face in the video and my thoughts I'm putting out in the universe, I have to stand for that. And I worry what people think, so I always make sure to play it safe and overthink anything. And the one thing that's helped me with this, and maybe can help you, is really simple. Don't overthink shit. Now I know that sounds cliche, but hear me out for a second. When you feel yourself getting anxious about a project or scrutinizing every last detail, stop and take a break. Remind yourself that your project will never officially be finished or perfect. Even if you spend over a year on something, and at the end you deem it perfect, and you finished it, I guarantee you when you came back to it with fresh eyes, you would think you could do something different to fix it. If you spend too much time trying to make it perfect, you will never have anything to put out. The most successful people aren't the most talented. The most successful people are the ones who have the balls to put themselves out there. Now, it's always wise and a good idea to think about your actions before you do them and always try to produce the best possible things you can. But that thinking becomes a problem when it debilitates you to do something. And not overthinking stuff does take a lot of mindfulness, and it's not easy at first. But I found, like anything hard, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I promise you, the more you do it, the easier it'll get for you. Thanks for watching.